As Pineville continues to grow, city leaders say updating aging infrastructure is key to attracting new development. With plans to redevelop 350 acres at the former Central Louisiana Hospital site, officials say progress must start below the surface before new buildings go up. The city has applied for $750,000 in federal build funding to begin planning and engineering improvements, including new road connections and a second spine roadway to improve traffic flow. At the same time, Pineville is replacing aging drainage systems across the city, including along Shamrock, where new pipes are already on site and construction is preparing to begin.
Right now is what the city of Pineville is doing is trying to polish this up so when investors and developers come here, and you have to have the infrastructure here for people to come to build new business here in city limits of Pineville.
Bishop says strengthening infrastructure now ensures Pineville is ready when investors and developers come looking to build.